wishing for you, can't stop wishing to see. You're coming home to me, coming home to me. I've been waiting for you, just been waiting to be the only one that you call, only one that you need.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you an in-depth tutorial on how I do a half-cut crease for my hooded eyes. So if you'd like to see how I do it, just keep on watching. So here are my eyes without any makeup on them, and you can see here that I have a fold, which is pretty close to my lash line, and I don't have a defined crease whatsoever. I also have a tapered inner corner, and then the ends of my eyes droop down just a little. And right here I'm showing you how much space I have to work with from my lash line to my eyebrow. And then right here is where the top of my eye socket is. So I went in with the Bad Habit Beauty Athena palette, and I took the shade Valor on a Luxie tapered blending brush. And you could see right here that I am lifting up my brows just to see more of where the defined crease of my eye is so that it's easier to place it. And then I am just sweeping that in my crease using windshield wiper motions and following the natural curve of my eye.
Down again, chasing dreams, drowning in all your love, all your love. I've been lost, found again, taking time, now and then, counting stars.
Next, I went in with the shade Love on the same brush, and I'm going to be putting that into my crease as well, but I am putting that a little lower. And as you could see, I am looking down because I prefer to look down in the mirror instead of looking face on, because it allows me to have my eyelid pulled tighter so that I could get all of the product I need on my eyelid. And that helps to prevent skipping or patchiness when I'm using eyeshadow, because if I have my eye completely relaxed, then when I blink and move it, there could be bald spots.
Let's go!
Wow. And then after doing this, I prefer to relax my eye and look straight forward to see if I like where the placement of the shadows are and if I have to go in and fix anything. Then I am taking the shade Power on a defining crease brush, and I'm putting that a little lower than the other two colors. And first I like to deposit most of the color straight into the crease, and then I will go in and blend it out so it's not such a harsh difference. And then of course, working with shadows, I prefer to go using the lightest color first and then gradually get deeper in colors so that it helps create depth and make it look like I have more of a defined crease than I really do. And then normally on about the second or third color, depending on what eye look I'm doing, I will take that color on the outer third of my eye as well to help with blending darker colors on top. And then I'll normally go back into the same brush from before, and I'll help blend all those colors together so that it gives a nice gradient.
Wow.
And then right here I'm showing you how it looks with my eyes completely relaxed so that you could still see the colors. Then I'm going in with the shade Clever, which is the deepest color I'm going to be using, on that same smaller brush. And first I'm going to focus it mostly on the outer third of my eye. And then I will take that color all the way up to the crease, but I'm not going to be dragging it in like I did with the others. And then, of course, I go back into the blending brush and blend those colors together. And then here you could see how it's a little deeper on the outer corner compared to the crease. And then for the cut crease portion, I go in with a concealer. I use pretty much any concealer I have on hand. And a good tip that I used to do when I first started out was to use a really small detail brush, and I would look completely straight forward so that my eyes were relaxed, and then I would create dots that I knew would still show up once my eye was open, and then that is going to help give you a basic outline for where you want to do your cut crease. And then after that, you could just connect those dots together with more concealer. Then once I have that top part defined, I go in with a flat shadow brush and I start putting it all over my lid. And I like to focus most of the concealer on the inner part of my eyelid and then drag it out to the outer part so that it helps create a softer blend. And since I have tapered inner corners, I prefer to bring the concealer a little in front of my tear duct so that color will still show through once I place it down. And then this is what we have to work with my eyes completely open. It's not the most noticeable on my hooded eyes, but it still will allow the color to show through. So next I went in with the shade Cunning on the same brush that we used to pack on that concealer, and then I put that color all over where we placed the concealer. So you could see that it still shows through just a little. So then I am dipping into Power once more on that defining crease brush, and I'm packing a little where the concealer and that color meets so that it helps to start creating a nice blend. And then I will go in with a small wash of that shimmery shade to help it blend even further. And then 9 times out of 10, I prefer to deepen up the outer corner just a little more. So I went back in with the shade Clever once more. And at first I just pack the color on, and then I will go back in with that blending brush to make sure there are no harsh edges. And then, of course, this is a lot of back and forth, but I went back in with a light wash of that shimmer shade to help make it blend together even more seamlessly. And then so far, this is what I have to work with. Now, since I don't have a super defined crease, I like to go in with the shade right before the darkest shade, which in this case was Power. And I'll use a small brush, whether it be this small angled brush from Wet n Wild or something else. And then I will deepen up right against the line of the concealer, just so that it looks even more sharp and clean. And then I took the shade Epic on a pencil brush and I highlighted my inner corners. And then for my lower lash line, I tend to do the same steps that I do in my crease, starting off with the first shade, which in this case was Valor, and I am using an e.l.f. shadow brush. And then once that first transition shade is down, I went in with the shade Love on the same brush, but I only brought that in about halfway on my lower lashes. And then I went in with the shade Power, and I made sure I ran this super close to my lower lashes and then didn't go past the shade that we used before, which was Love. And then for that final deepest shade, I went in with the shade Clever on a Luxie 221 T brush, and I pressed that right against my lower lashes. And then I dipped into the shimmer shade, which is Cunning, on that same brush we used to pack it all over our lid. And I'm running that on the inner half of my lower lash line. And then I ended up dragging that color a little over the matte colors to help it blend together. And then this is what we are working with right now. And that was it for eyeshadow. So then, of course, I threw on some mascara. I used the Essence Lash Princess Mascara to coat my top and lower lashes.
I've been wishing for you, can't stop wishing to see.
And then I wasn't sure where this look was going, so I waited on highlighter until later. So I went in with Ofra Rodeo Drive on a dense crown brush to highlight my cheekbones, my cupid's bow, the tip of my nose, and the bridge of my nose.
Coming home to me, coming home to me. I've been waiting for you, just been waiting to be the only one that you call, only one that you need.
And then for lips, I went in with the NYX Liquid Suede in the shade Cherry Skies.
I've been up and down again, chasing dreams, drowning in all your love, all your love. I've been lost, found again, taking time, now and then, counting stars, counting wishes.
And that completes this Hooded Eyes How To, a half cut crease. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you aren't already, and I'll see you in my next one.